Hi guys, welcome to this plumberparts.co.uk video. Oh my god, look at those guns. Don't ask me, it's just been a funny day. I'm in one of them funny moods. What I'm doing here, right, this is in my bathroom at the moment and we've got a little bit of a funny job that we've got to do. We've got quite a complicated little bit of install work going on behind us here and it's requiring quite a lot of preparatory work. If any of you have followed us on Instagram, you'd have seen some of the live videos that we've been doing taking all this stuff out. So if you want to keep up with what we're doing outside of YouTube videos, then Instagram's the place to do it. Even though the main place is obviously you guys on YouTube. Mwah, love y'all. So we've got a little problem down here. We've got a hot and cold feed pipe that are going to the downstairs toilet that's right below us. And what we've got to do, we've got to move those two pipes out of the way. Then that will give us the room under the floor to reroute our 4-inch pipe so we can actually fit our toilet frame in. Now, what we're going to do in this video, we're just going to cover the lifting up of the floorboards. We're going to talk you through doing that, how I do it. Especially like this job here, I don't know what's under the floorboards here. I don't know if there's more pipes, more wires. I've put my hand underneath as far as I can to see whether there is, but sometimes you've got to go by these little rules to make sure that you don't have any problems. Then once we've got the floorboard off, we're going to cut our pipe work out, we're going to reroute our pipes underneath, and then that'll be the end of the video, okay, because it's quite complicated up to then anyway. Don't worry, we'll cover the installation of the toilet in another video, probably in about 1 or 2 videos time. But if you're watching this in a year or two's time, I'll leave a link to that video at the end of this one, okay? Anyway, guys, let's get on with this video. I hope you enjoy it. And remember, there's one thing y'all gotta do. That's hold tight, guys. Oh, I'm just gonna lift it. Little bicep curl. Oh. Well, that's that. Let's get on with the video. Hold tight. Right then, guys, so as you can see, we've got quite a lot of this wall out already. We're gonna have to take these tongues out soon, but before I do that, before I come down here with my grinder, I really need these two pipes here out of my way. I don't want them to be in the way while we're doing any grinding work, because obviously if we nick them and they're live with water in them, we're gonna get some water everywhere. We don't want that. Now, just a quick description of the job that we're doing. We're having a recessed toilet frame going inside this wall lining here. It's gonna serve a toilet on the other side of this wall in an ensuite, and it's also gonna serve a toilet just in here as well. Kind of unusual because it's 2 toilets and a single frame, which is really, really cool. In particular for this video today, we're gonna have a look at how we get our pipes routed under the floor. So another thing that we're gonna do is, rather than just getting these 2 pipes and then dipping them down under there, over there, and then running them along underneath, and then bringing them back up to where they need to be, or relinking them back up, the reason we're not doing that is because what we need to do is we need to get our 4-inch from this corner here under the floor level, needs to come across here and then go up and then end roughly here, ready to take the 2 flows from our waste outlets on the toilet. There's a special T-piece supplied with the toilet systems that can take 2 loos going into the back of them, but we'll look at that in another video, don't worry. So the first thing I do, right, when we're thinking about we're gonna get a floor up, we're gonna maybe have a little bit of a yank about, is really we've got to turn the water off first. But at the moment, we've got the missus downstairs. We don't want to really give her the big time. It's the last thing we want to do, believe me. I'm still getting over the last tongue lashing I got. So what I'm going to do, and this is something you're going to encounter on jobs as well, is that you want the water to be off for the smallest amount of time to give your customer the least amount of hassle, really. So, you know, that's what we're going to try and do here today. So the first thing I do is I say, right, to do my job, to get this job done properly, I need to get up a certain amount of floorboards. So I know I need to get this one up, this one up, this one up, this one up, and this one up. I might need to take this one back a bit as well in this corner here. So the second thing, once I know that, I also am probably going to take this side panel off the bath just here and maybe take off one more floorboard just back there. But the first thing I need to do is find out where my joist is running. Now we know there's going to be a joist run along here to take the last little bit of weight of our floorboards here. Now that means I'd expect the next joist to be somewhere along here. Now I want to find that because once we know where that joist is, we know where we can make our cut with our skill saw or with our hand saw or with our fane, whatever you're using to cut with your oscillating tool, you'll know exactly then where to do it. So let's find that out now. So as you can see, guys, we've got a little panel here. If you ever have a panel that's been taken up in the past, it's a good idea to just whip that up and then you've got a really good idea of what's underneath you then. You can see what's going on. These look like heating pipes going downstairs. Yeah, they are. Yeah, that is it. We've got quite a lot of room to work with under here. Tiny word of advice as well, guys. I'm sitting on a little knee pad here, but these little nails, if you kneel on them, wow, you are gonna know it, believe me. They are absolutely agony. So get these up, out your way. and get them thrown in the international dustbin, or as I call it, the ceiling cavity. So then once you've got everything out of the way, we've just taken this bath panel off here. We now know where the centre of our beam goes along here, and look, very helpfully as well, there's another cut here. So sometimes this can be a little bit of pyro for you, a pyro moment. Get yourself a straight edge. I mean, I've just got this top bit of wood here because all I want is a straight edge really, guys. I mean, I can go and get my spirit level out of the van, but as we all know, that would mean walking down to the van. And we don't want to be doing that if we can help it, because we all hate going to the van. So get yourself a straight edge. What we are going to do, we are going to take this lot back quite a way actually. We're going to go back further than we wanted. So I'm just going to get my straight edge now. We're going to mark this up the way along like so. Now I am saying this now, guys, because this is 100%. Once we've got the bath out, because we need to keep this bath actually usable until I finish off the ensuite next door. But what I'm going to do is when we're actually in here, we've ripped this lot out, I'm taking all the floorboards up, I'm insulating the floor gap underneath, and then I'm going to lay new floorboarding down again, like the 22mm chipboard floor you get, that's got like a PVA coating on it as well, so I'll PVA that as well. Let's just have a little clear up and I'll see you in 2 secs. Yeah. Right guys, once you've had a bit of a clear up and you've got a nice little area for you to work on, very, very closely study the line that you've made along here, because especially on old houses, it's going to be hard for you to see the nail heads. A lot of the nail heads are just little slits like that, so keep an eye out for those. If you've got a reasonably new house, you'll often find that they've just used screws. As you can see, the guy was here used screws last time round. The reason we're doing that is we're going to be bringing our wood saw along here in a sec to cut this, and we don't really want to sort of get any nails on that, because if we do, we're going to blunt our bit, and we really don't want to do that. So I can see a couple there. I'm just going to move my line over a bit now. I'm just going to really think about where I'm going to be running my cut, just so we're along here now. That's my plan. Right then, so I think I'm pretty much ready to cut now. The next thing to do is, and this is seriously important, get the heights right for your cut. Most floorboards, you'll be able to get maybe a tape measure under there and give that a quick measure. If you're lucky like we are here, I know for a fact that I can lay my skill saw up next to the actual floorboard, so it just lays here. If you really want to, take the battery out, or if you haven't got a battery, make sure it's unplugged from the wall. You bring this, you've got a little bit of movement on here, so we can bring that down to there, and then you lock it at whatever height you want it to be. What I often do is I will just sit mine down next to that and go, right, that needs to go down a little bit further, just a tiny bit. And then you'll know that you're only going to take out exactly the right amount, okay? You don't want to take out more than you need to, okay? Exactly the right depth for what we want it for. We should be fine to cut through what we've got here and get on with this job. So, PPE on, always wear goggles, and if it's a really noisy bit of kit, get yourself a bit of ear goggles as well on. Where are they? Don't know where they are, but I'm definitely going to wear my mask. So let's just drop down to where we need to be now. Right, the tools that I usually use to prise stuff up, I have my trusty flat-bladed screwdriver that gets used for everything. This gets used for everything from stirring paint all the way to actually being used as a screwdriver sometimes. I'll often just use that to get in here, give this a bit of a prise, and see if we can get this one up. If we can get this one up, go for that. And then just work your way along. Just hold that up with another tool, and then you can work your way along, carry on prising. So I'm going to hold here like that, like that. There we go. There's our first floorboard up. If you're going to want to replace these and put these in the right way, I highly suggest you lay these out in order so you know which way you're going to be going, which way you're working back. If you don't do that, then sometimes you're going to be guesswork and they just won't go back down right. You'll often find as well that you've got the tongue. Sometimes guys like to score through the tongue as well, but I sort of tend to not do that because I get worried about the fact that, you know, it's more cutting. You never know, you might go through a wire that's really high up or something like that, but each to their own, you can do it your own little way. Also, once you've got out whatever you're working on, it's very, very important to get your nails hit back out the way, because if you don't hit them back out the way, what's going to happen? You're going to tread on them, absolutely guaranteed. And in fact, you're going to want to pull these out. You're not going to use them again. You're going to be using screws in a minute when you put everything back down. Right, I'm just going to go along here now and get the rest of these cut up and sorted. I've got enough room as well now if I want. I can have a little peek under there and make sure that there's not going to be any nasty surprises along the way. Right then guys, so we've got everything out. Now this is the plan of battle. We obviously have, and in another video, to run this 4-inch is going to go across here. It's going to have to elbow into here and then come up inside that wall cavity just there, which means that we're going to compromise the strength loading on this side of this beam. So what we're going to need to do is actually tie that into the wall, but I'll do that in another video. It's not even plumbing, to be honest, so we'll just see if that happens or not. What that does mean though is that this pipe here is going to be running into a boss in the end of our elbow, which is perfectly fine. This pipe here, we should just be able to leave how it is, because that's going to be able to run across it and go through there. But the ones that we're talking about in this video today, obviously the hot and cold that are here, they run along here, they need to hook up just down the back there. So a bit higgledy-piggledy in here. This is a realistic job. You're not going to be able to make this look absolutely amazing, and let's face it, people aren't going to see it anyway. So what I plan to do is cut my 2 pipes there, elbow and swing down. I'm going to grab a clip, I'm going to pop a clip on my side just here, so that keeps them nice and sort of level as we go through. And then we're going to find a way, once we've got all this pipe work and stuff out of the way, what I'm going to do is put my bag, my stink bag just down here so we don't get just inundated with stink, which is the last we want. And then yeah, once we've got that out of the way, we'll be able to figure out how are we actually going to get our pipes over to where we need them. I wish this was smell-o-vision, I really do, because even cutting that pipe there for the bath was a bit poggy-wongy, and it ain't going to get much better. So let's get on with it. Oh man, why do we do this for a living? Sometimes I wonder, I really do. Right, now I've got this bit out of the way and I really wish this was scratch and sniff. Scratch your screen now. Well, I tell you what, scratch your bum, then scratch your screen and then sniff your fingers, because that's what this smells like at the moment. What I'm going to do is just get the hoover in here, just get all this lot hoovered out, get the dust taken away. Then we're going to switch the water off, and we'll have a quick chat as well about how to get hot and cold water out of your pipes ready for cutting so you don't get flooding, and also ready for soldering so you get proper watertight solders. Right, I've just got that lot hoovered out there. I'm not going to worry about this lot here. I'm going to try and not disturb that. Probably pick a few of these bits out just so they're out of the way. But number one concern really is getting these 2 cut so we can plug up the 4-inch down there. Because at the moment, the more work we do that doesn't have that plug, the chances are that something might fall down there and block that 4-inch up. And I can't reach at the moment. I'm going to take this 100mm offset off, and then we're going to reuse that and pop that back on in a minute and get that going. But our main thing is now to get the water turned off, and then I'll show you how to drain it out. So I'm just going to go and knock the water off now. Oh, right then, the water is now off. This is the way I turn water off, right? If you can find the valves that go from the outlet of your hot water tank, that's really good. That's the best way. It all depends on different systems, but once you confirm that you've turned the right water off, open the taps up on the top floor first, then go down to the bottom floor, then go and have a cup of tea. Or if you want to, just walk around the house, make sure that you haven't accidentally blocked up a basin or something like that. If the water doesn't stop, then you haven't done the right job, have you? These 2 pipes lead off directly round to our bath, and they feed the hot and cold in the bath. I can open up this valve here and hopefully we should hear either suction or have nothing at all. We might get one little splurge of water, but I'm not expecting loads. Right, so there's nothing there now. So now we're at a stage we know that we can cut this lot out and move on with the next bit. What I'm very quickly going to do though is just get this bit puggled down here so we don't keep getting steam coming out. And also if we do have a problem while we're cutting in a minute with our pipe slice, if we drop it, the last place we want it to go is down that 4-inch pipe. Oh yeah, that's one thing. You've got to remember what goes where. Now fortunately, cold lines up with cold, hot lines up with hot, but if you're not sure, you know, sometimes it's a good idea to run the hot water beforehand to make sure, or even if you don't want to do that, just number that pipe 1 and number where it goes to as pipe number 1. You know, have a system and stick to it, okay? Don't get this wrong. So we've got a little bit of water here. Shouldn't be too much to worry about. Should just be what's sat in the pipe. This one's sucking now because we flushed the loo downstairs and this feeds that loo. So that's just running off down there a bit. Brilliant, so we've cut at this end. All I've got to do is cut at that end. Then we can get on with installing our clips and our new bit of pipe work. So a little pipe's just along here. In a minute, once we've got these 2 out of the way, so I'm going to cut these just here because we're going to dip down under the floor just there and come across to here. I'm then just we're going to figure out what we're going to do with that bit in a minute. But for now, just so we can get on with the actual job in hand and we can get the water back on as quickly as we can, I'm just going to get these 2 cut here. Right guys, so it's just a matter now of pretty much just doing our pipe work really and the way that we always do it. So remember, the main thing is to make sure we don't have any water in the fitting. We've got a little bit here in this pipe. And also make sure that if you're going onto old pipe, you give it a really good clean. It's going to want a really good clean before you do anything there. And yeah, we're just going to get soldered up really and just carry on with this job. Right then guys, I've got to do a little T here. I am going to be extending this because I know this has got to go and feed a toilet, but for tonight, because it's getting on a bit. Oh, hold on, we're a bit too close to that wood there. Guys, we've done those two bits now, just down here, made sure they're nice and clean, so I'm just going to pop down here now and do them. Something else has just fallen over. Right, so as ever, emery cloth first, clear it up, then get all your bits sorted out, and then get soldering. Wow, right, there we go, all back on. I've tested for leaks, we've got no leaks. So now I'm happy to just do my joint cleanups and everything. Just use a little bit of wire wool, and I've left my brasso at my other job. So I haven't got my brasso here, but I mean, it's underneath, you're not gonna see it. The thing is, right, I solder kind of slightly differently when it comes to under here. I mean, there's loads of guys out there online who are seriously good solderers. They do a really clean solder and a good job. With this sort of work, no one's going to see it and it has to function. Wang a little bit of extra solder in. I don't care if you get a little bit of a blob at the bottom of the pipe. I really don't. What I want is to put the floor back down and know that we're not going to get a leak. So give it a quick clear up. The good thing about clearing up pipe is, like I've said, when you're cleaning down your fittings and everything, it gives you the opportunity to test for leaks properly and make sure that everything's okay. It's a methodical way of going through all the work that you've done and making sure that it's all right. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to clear up all that, and then I'm going to be able to put my floorboards back down. I'm just going to have to take out a couple of little notches, but now we don't have the pipes along the back here getting in the way of the work that I'm about to do. So there we go, success. We've successfully rerouted our pipes underneath the floor. What I'll do is when I get back to the studio, I might do another video in a couple of weeks' time where I'll show you pretty much how to run the pipes by lifting the floorboards up, cutting your grooves, or using a standard angle drill that if you're a DIYer, I suggest you buy anyway because they're really handy. And if you're a plumber, 100% you can have one of these anyhow because they're so handy for first fixing timber frame buildings and just drilling in tight gaps. So we might do that in another video, but hey, who knows? If you don't subscribe, you're never gonna find out, are you? So please click that subscribe button and come along for the ride. As I said, follow us on Instagram. We did stories while we were in here, okay, that showed our work area looking just like this. Oh man, Vito Pro Pack for the win, but if you could put your head down there, all you'd smell is poo. So I'm going to get all this cleared up now, guys. Please subscribe to us. Please follow us on Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter as well. And I'll see you in our next video. Remember everyone, if there's one thing you've got to do, it's click on the link to my vlog that's about to appear in the end panels and hold tight. See you soon.